The late-day sunshine filters through my bedroom window, creating recognizable patterns on the floor. Before I even reach for the door handle, something feels off. My hand hesitates above the metal knob. Downstairs, I can hear my parents chatting, their conversation mixed with a sound of dishes clinking. I turn on the light. My workspace lies before me, a bare wooden surface where my carefully built computer system used to operate. The screens, the graphics tablet, the precise collection of equipment I'd gathered over 5 years, all gone. The power cord hangs uselessly, its protection light flickering at empty air. The world tilts sideways. My phone tumbles from my hand, hitting the floor with a sharp crack. 5 years of extra shifts at the market, every holiday season spent watching for deals online. Each part carefully researched, prices monitored, bought only when my tight budget allowed. $4,200 of hard work put together with my own hands. Pass the pepper. Mom's voice drifts up through the heating vent, casual as any regular evening. My fingers grip the stair rail as I walk down, step by step. These stairs have never seemed so endless. In the kitchen, Mom serves spaghetti onto Dad's dish while Brielle stares at her phone. Expensive shades rest on top of her head, even though we're inside. Where's my computer? The question comes out strangely calm. Mom's serving spoon stops halfway. Oh, sweetie, we had to sell it. Brielle needed money for her fashion interview trip to New York. Dad keeps reading his paper. It wasn't being used much anyway. Brielle's fingers keep moving across her screen. Thanks for being cool about it, Cam. You're always so understanding about family stuff. Understanding. The word bounces around my head while memories rush past. 16 years old, starting my first job, teaching myself web design between grocery shifts. 18, building my dream setup one piece at a time. 22, getting my first paying design contract on that exact computer. 24 now, watching 5 years of effort disappear for my sister's weekend adventure. We got $1,500 for it, Mom says, like this detail might make it better. Really a godsend. Brielle found the perfect handbag for her interview. Brielle looks up from her purse. Wanna see? It's Valentino. The guy who bought it said your video card alone was worth. That wasn't yours to sell. My voice cuts through her babbling, harder than I've ever let it sound. The kitchen goes quiet. Mom's spoon hits the pot. Dad's newspaper drops slightly. Camille. Mom uses that tone, the one that always made me give in, say sorry, fix everything. We're family. We support each other. You've always gotten that. Yeah, Cam. Brielle rolls her eyes. It's just a computer. Be mature. Just a computer. Just my career. Just every client project, every file, every hour of work stored on those hard drives. Just everything I created. Sold without asking. My legs carry me upstairs before I know I'm moving. The bedroom door shuts behind me. Not slammed, but firm. Through the glass, my reflection looks back. The same face that smiled through every family crisis that emptied my bank account. The same eyes that looked away when mysterious charges appeared on my credit card. The same shoulders that carried groceries, paid bills, handled endless requests for just a little help. The pattern spreads out before me like a map. I wasn't valued. I was a resource to be used, a fountain they thought would never dry up. My laptop starts up, the screen glowing across the empty desk. My fingers pause over the keys, then type. How to track down used electronics. The familiar voices continue their dinner talk below, but something has changed in the space where my computer used to sit. I can see clearly for the first time. They took my machine, but they gave me something much more important. They showed me exactly what they really think of me. Later that night, receipts cover my bed like scattered leaves, each one proof of overtime hours and careful saving. My hands tremble as I sort them by date, a paper record of sacrifice. The graphics card receipt from Thompson's Electronics still has a coffee stain from my rushed morning before work. $300 saved by bringing lunch from home for 4 months straight. My laptop screen shines harshly across my midnight documentation. Every component, every hour worked, every dream built piece by piece. The progress photos tell their story. My hands connecting wires, installing memory, the joy in my eyes when the system first turned on. 4,000, $200 of determination assembled during stolen moments between client work and family duties. A chat notification pulls my attention to an old message thread. My stomach drops when I see the date. 2 weeks before the sale. Mom's words to the buyer sparkle with fake sweetness. It's hardly used, really. My daughter has so many computers. She won't even miss this one. We can meet Friday afternoon while she's at work. The browser history shows Brielle's fashion interview was planned months ago. Her text to Mom glows with casual cruelty. Cam can just use the library computers, lol. She's so basic anyway. Probably doesn't even need the fancy setup. A receipt for the Valentino bag falls from between pages. $2, $300. The numbers don't work. They sold my system for $1,500. Where did the extra $800 come from? My banking app gives me the answer. A withdrawal I never made. Emergency fund transfer, family medical. The same excuse they always use. Knowing I never questioned medical emergencies. The Facebook Marketplace listing appears in my search results. My PC displayed against our living room wall. High-end custom gaming/design PC, $1,500 firm, status, sold. The buyer's profile shows a man named Thomas Wheeler. His page is full of tech reviews and computer builds. He'll understand the real value of what he bought. My fingers hover over the keyboard as I write the message. Dear Mr. Wheeler, I'm contacting you about the custom PC you recently bought. I'm the original owner and builder. The system was sold without my knowledge or permission. I can provide all original receipts and build documentation. Would you be willing to meet to discuss the situation? His reply comes within minutes. Coffee tomorrow. What you're describing sounds troubling. I'd like to hear more. The next morning, sunlight streams through the cafe windows as Thomas looks over my documentation. His face changes from doubt to sympathy as the evidence piles up. Look, he says, pushing his untouched coffee away. I believe you. The specs you listed match perfectly. And these time-stamped build photos. He pauses, choosing his words carefully. But I paid fair market value. I can't return it without getting my money back. My phone buzzes, Morgan calling. I step outside into the sharp morning air. They did what? Morgan's voice gets higher with each detail I share. Cam, that's not normal. That's not family helping family. That's theft. I know. The words stick in my throat. I know that now. Another call comes through, my boss, Patricia. I've never missed a deadline before this week. Camille, her voice lacks its usual brisk efficiency. Your mother called the office looking for you. Said something about a family emergency with your computer. She pauses. Want to tell me what's really happening? The story spills out in quiet sentences. Patricia's silence stretches across the line. Take the week, she finally says. Sort this out. Your job will be here. Just get yourself stable. I go back to the cafe and tell the buyer I'll contact him again. Then I head straight to the bank. 20 minutes later, the teller's eyes widen slightly as I request the withdrawal, $1, $500 in crisp hundreds. The last of my savings account. Big plans for this money? She asks, smoothing the bills into an envelope. I'm buying back my freedom. The words surprise me with their certainty. After getting my money, my next call goes to Highland Property Management. Yes, I'd like to ask about your available one-bedroom apartments. That evening, the PC sits in my room again. By sunset, each cable reconnected with shaking fingers. Footsteps on the stairs announce the inevitable commentary. See? Everything worked out fine. Mother's voice carries that familiar note of dismissal. I knew you'd figure something out. You always do. Now you can help Brielle prepare for her interview. She needs someone to design her portfolio. I don't answer. My focus stays on the monitor as it comes to life, its soft hum reminding me of everything I've had to reclaim. They don't notice my silence. They never have. Just as they won't notice the lease agreement minimized in my browser, or the single box I've started packing under my bed. My phone lights up with Morgan's text. Need my truck this weekend? I start typing a message to my parents, fingers pouring out years of hurt. How could you do this to me? The cursor blinks accusingly until I delete each word. The laptop closes with a soft click in the darkness. My reflection stares back from the blank screen. The woman in the glass looks different somehow, spine straighter, jaw set with new purpose. One box sits ready in the corner, waiting for dawn. The first hint of sunrise bleeds across my bedroom ceiling. Through thin curtains, streetlights still cast their amber glow, creating familiar shadows I won't see again. My phone screen reads 5:47 a.m. Morgan's text waits beneath. Outside when you're ready. Labels cover each box in neat rows. Birth certificate, social security card, bank statements secured.
Computer tucked into my laptop bag.
Portfolio samples and client contracts follow, organized by project date. A photo album surfaces from my bottom drawer, Mom beaming at my high school graduation, Dad's arm around my shoulder at Christmas, Brielle blowing out 16 candles. The cardboard flaps close over those memories. Some weights aren't worth carrying forward. Morgan's truck idles quietly at the curb. Mrs. Henderson peers through her kitchen window next door, coffee mug paused halfway to her lips. Let her watch. Let her tell my mother later. The first box weighs nothing in my arms, lighter than all those years of being the responsible one. You're sure about this? Morgan whispers as we secure my recovered PC in the truck bed, her breath fogging in the morning chill. More sure than I've ever been. The words come easily, surprising us both. 4 trips empty my room of everything that matters. The bed remains pristine, covers smooth as glass. They'll find it like this when they wake. No note, no dramatic goodbye. Just clean absence. The only language they might finally understand. An hour later, the apartment building stands small against the morning sky. Red brick worn soft by decades of weather, paint peeling in corners of my new living room. But sunlight streams through uncurtained windows, painting possibilities across bare walls. $840 monthly buys freedom if you know where to look. Morgan helps position my desk beneath the largest window. My PC finds its place of honor, cables coiled neat and precise. The monitor powers on with a familiar hum. For your new place, Morgan sets a small potted plant on the windowsill. A purple sticky note flags one delicate leaf. Freedom. The first 5 days pass in blessed quiet. I work, sleep, exist in a space that answers only to me. No footsteps overhead tracking my movements. No casual requests that cost hundreds of dollars. No guilt served with dinner. Then my phone erupts. Where are you? Your sister is worried sick. How could you abandon your family like this? Dad's final message lands like a gavel. After everything we've done for you. My thumbs hover over the screen, composing and deleting responses. The words finally settle into place. I've moved out. My things are with me. I am safe and well. Old memories flicker, decades of subtle manipulation, of being volunteered for sacrifices I never chose. One more line. Please do not contact me for the next 30 days. I need space. The phone rings instantly. For the first time in 24 years, I press decline. Mom's voicemails pile up like autumn leaves. You're killing your father with worry. Each message deleted, unheard. Dad's texts land with familiar authority. Under my roof or not, you will answer your mother. Brielle's Instagram story makes her the victim. Thanks for ruining my interview prep with your drama. 300 sympathetic comments bloom beneath. Family friends emerge from the woodwork. Your parents are beside themselves.
How could you do this to them?
Just call them, for heaven's sake. The pressure that once would have crushed me slides off like rain. Do not disturb mode exists for precisely these moments. My recovered PC hums with new purpose. The 3D modeling software opens to a blank canvas, possibilities stretching infinite. My cursor moves with fresh energy, sketching the bones of spaces that breathe. A YouTube channel takes shape, interior design for real life. The first video uploads at midnight, my voice speaking over carefully framed shots of my small apartment, creating space that works for you. The irony doesn't escape me. 3 weeks of peace shatter with a knock at my door. Through the peephole, Mom's face warps wide with righteous fury. I know you're in there. Neighbors' doors crack open down the hallway. Mrs. Phillips from 4B peers out in her robe. Mr. Rodriguez across the hall stands ready to intervene. The building manager's shoes click up the stairs. Is there a problem here? My voice emerges steady through the door. That's my mother. I'm not receiving visitors. Young lady, you open this door right now. Mom's voice carries down the hallway, but the words have lost their power to compel. I return to my desk, hands trembling slightly as I adjust the lighting on a client's virtual walkthrough. The familiar work settles my pulse. A notification chimes. My first video has hit 1,000 views. A comment catches my eye. This helped me redesign my space after my divorce. Thank you. My reflection in the monitor smiles, small, genuine. Perhaps the first real smile in months. Behind me, the tiny plant from Morgan unfurls a new leaf toward the light. Freedom, it turns out, can grow in the smallest spaces. 3 days after the failed encounter, my phone buzzes with another Facebook notification. Mother's latest post hovers at the top of my feed. Nothing hurts more than watching your child throw away years of family love. Parents, hold your babies close while you can. 43 sympathetic reactions, 12 comments offering prayers and support. I click away before reading more, focusing instead on the design plans spread across my monitor. The renovation project needs my full attention. A young couple's first home, their dreams contained in every careful measurement and color choice. A text from Morgan breaks my concentration. Your sister's at it again. Brielle's Instagram story loads with familiar theatrical flair. Her mascara-stained face fills the frame, designer sunglasses pushed up into perfectly styled hair. My sister abandoned us right before the biggest opportunity of my life. #toxic family, #healing, #boundaries. The irony of her hashtag choice would be funny if it didn't sting. The phone rings and Susan's name lights up my screen. Dad's sister, who moved to Seattle years ago. We exchange holiday cards, nothing more. My thumb hovers over decline before something makes me answer. Camille? Her voice carries the same gentle tone I remember from childhood visits. I saw your mother's posts. Something doesn't add up. The words catch in my throat. No one from the family has asked for my side before. What actually happened, Camille? I tell her everything, the computer, the years of financial drain, the pattern of sacrifice disguised as family duty. My voice stays steady, focusing on facts rather than accusations. Silence fills the line when I finish. Then, they did the same thing to me 30 years ago. My hands still on the keyboard. What? Your father's first business venture. They sold my car while I was away at college. Claimed it was gathering dust anyway. I'd paid for it myself, working summers at the pool. She pauses. I haven't trusted them with anything valuable since. The revelation settles into my bones, the family pattern stretching back before my birth. Why didn't you ever say anything? Would you have believed me then? Sometimes people need to discover truth on their own terms. My design channel notification pings. 5,000 subscribers. The number glows on my screen like a beacon, small but growing.
Real.
I saw your latest video, Susan says. The one about building spaces that last. You found your voice. A message from my newest client drops in, a collaboration with Wilson and Associates, one of the city's most respected firms. The deposit has already cleared, enough to cover next month's rent with money left for savings. Another Facebook notification. Dad telling our neighbor I'm going through a phase. The words carry less weight now, harmless as soap bubbles against the solid foundation I'm building. Aunt Susan's voice turns urgent. Listen, there's something else you should know. They're in trouble, but it's not your problem to fix. She outlines the situation. Dad's company planning layoffs, credit card debt from years of financing Brielle's future, their retirement account drained for her opportunities. They always assumed you'd be their backup plan, she says. The responsible one who'd step in when things got tight. My stomach clenches, the familiar pull of obligation warring with my newfound clarity. A knock at my door interrupts the call. Through the peephole, I spot Mrs. Henderson from church, clutching her signature glass casserole dish, the neighborhood mediator, right on schedule. Just a moment, I tell Aunt Susan, then open the door. Mrs. Henderson's smile wavers between sympathy and certainty. Your parents are struggling, Camille. They need you now more than ever. 5 months ago, those words would have sent me scrambling to help. Now they land flat against my growing strength. I have some numbers for financial counseling services, I say, reaching for the folder I've prepared for exactly this moment. They offer free consultations and payment plans. Her mouth opens, closes. This isn't the script she expected. But they're your family. Yes, they are. That's why I won't enable patterns that hurt all of us. The casserole dish trembles slightly in her hands. Behind her, my phone lights up with Brielle's latest Instagram story, a tearful announcement that her fashion internship fell through. The caption blames my sabotage and jealousy. I wish her words could still wound me. Instead, I feel only tired clarity. Let her spin her stories. My work speaks for itself in growing subscriber counts and satisfied clients, in spaces transformed by careful attention to detail and respect for function. Mrs. Henderson accepts the folder, confusion plain on her face. I've never seen you like this, Camille. So clear. I suggest. For the first time in my life. After she leaves, I return to Aunt Susan's call. But before I can speak, an email notification catches my eye. Feature request. Budget-friendly design solutions that pop. The irony draws a quiet laugh from my throat. A major design publication wants to showcase my apartment transformation, the very space I was forced to create when they took everything else away. You still there? Aunt Susan asks. Yes. I study my reflection in the monitor, shoulders straight, eyes clear. I'm exactly where I need to be. Good, she says. Sometimes the best foundation is built on cleared ground. I end the call and turn back to my work. The renovation plans glow on my screen, each measurement precise, each element carefully chosen. In the corner, Morgan's plant stretches toward the sunlight, roots growing stronger every day. My mother's Facebook post still hovers at the top of my feed, gathering more sympathetic reactions by the minute. I close the browser without reading the comments. Some spaces are better left empty. The design project before me holds more truth than any social media story. Clean lines, honest materials, form following function. A space rebuilt from scratch, stronger for the breaking. Sometimes, I whisper to my empty apartment, what's taken from you makes room for something better. The cursor blinks, waiting for my next move. Outside my window, the afternoon light paints shadows across my desk, different from the ones in my old bedroom, but beautiful in their own right. I begin to work. The coffee shop windows catch the afternoon sun, casting long rectangles of light across the polished floor. My fingers trace the edge of the manila folder on my lap as I scan the scattered customers. 3 empty tables separate me from the door. My planned escape route. My parents wait inside, exactly where I knew they would be. Dad's newspaper shields half his face while Mom arranges and rearranges the sugar packets in their ceramic holder. Brielle slumps beside them, sunglasses perched on her head despite the indoor lighting, thumbs dancing across her phone screen. The familiar sight stops my breath. 3 months of silence stretch between us like a chasm. Thank you for meeting me. My voice carries across the space between us, steady and clear. The words feel foreign in my mouth, not the automatic apology they expect. Mom's hands still over the sugar packets. Camille. She infuses my name with layers of meaning, relief, accusation, the weight of expectations left unmet. We were starting to think you'd never. Let me speak first. The sugar packets rattle as Mom's hand jerks back. Dad's newspaper lowers an inch. I slide into the empty chair, placing the folder on the table between us. The distance feels both too far and not far enough. I've had time to think about how you abandoned your family. Brielle's phone clatters onto the table. Do you know what you did to Mom? I know exactly what I did. I open the folder, revealing neat columns of numbers and dates. I also know what you did to me. All of you. Mom leans forward, voice dropping to a whisper that could cut glass. We are your family. Everything we've done has been for this family. Family? The word tastes bitter. Let's talk about family. My finger traces down the first column. Age 16, my first paycheck from the grocery store, $300. You said the electricity was about to be cut off. I believed you. I turn the page. Age 18, $2,000 from my college fund to cover bills and Brielle's competition fees. Age 20, my credit card maxed out for Dad's temporary business shortfall. Dad's newspaper crumples. You're keeping score of helping your own family? I'm documenting a pattern. Another page turns. Every sacrifice, every loan that was never repaid, Every time I was told that family comes first while my own needs came last. After everything we've sacrificed for you. Mom's voice rises, sharp enough to draw glances from nearby tables. The ungrateful. My computer. The words slice through her building tirade. $4,200. 5 years of overtime shifts. Every client file. Every project. My entire livelihood sold without my knowledge or consent for $1,500. My gaze locks with Brielle's. How's the Valentino bag working out for those interviews? Brielle's lips curl. Just because you're getting all YouTube famous. This isn't about YouTube. I pull out the final document, 3 clear statements in bold text. This is about boundaries going forward. These are my terms. Dad snatches the paper before I can begin reading. Terms? We're your parents, not some business contract. My property and finances are off limits permanently. I recite from memory as his face darkens. Respect goes both ways. I won't be dismissed or manipulated. Our relationship moves forward with honesty, or not at all. The paper tears in half, then quarters. This isn't how family works, Camille. Mom's voice trembles. Choose. This nonsense, or us. She was always weird. Brielle scrolls through her phone again, voice bored. Let her go. Pieces of my carefully typed boundaries scatter across the table like confetti. I gather my bag, movements unhurried despite my thundering heart. You've made your choice. I accept it. Camille Marie Evans. Mom's voice cracks like a whip. If you walk out that door, I'll always care about you. My hand rests on the door handle as I look back one final time. That's why I can't let you use me anymore. Sunlight hits my face as I step onto the sidewalk. The door swings shut behind me, cutting off their voices of protest. For a moment, I stand motionless, feeling the warmth on my skin, the gentle spring breeze, the weight lifting from my shoulders with each breath. My phone buzzes, a new client inquiry about a kitchen redesign. Simple, practical, exactly the kind of project I love. My fingers hover over the screen, then tap out a response as I walk away from the cafe. Behind me, I imagine Mom gathering the torn pieces of paper, Dad pretending to read his crumpled newspaper, Brielle typing furiously on her phone to shape the narrative of my latest betrayal. But their voices grow fainter with each step, replaced by the sound of my shoes on concrete, the rustle of leaves in the trees overhead, the steady rhythm of my own heart beating out a new pattern. Free, free, free. A year later, the morning sun streams through floor-to-ceiling windows, catching dust motes that dance above my drafting table. My YouTube setup gleams in the corner, proper lighting, a professional microphone, and backdrops I designed myself. A notification pings, another subscriber, bringing the total to 50,012. Morgan breezes through my front door, arms loaded with farmers' market flowers. Your place should look perfect for tonight. She arranges sunflowers in a crystal vase, a housewarming gift from a client whose lake house I redesigned. You don't have to fuss, but I smile watching her work. The apartment has transformed over the past year. Exposed brick walls now showcase my design awards. Floating shelves display treasured books and project mock-ups. Morgan's housewarming plant has spawned a jungle of greenery that makes the space feel alive. My phone buzzes, a text from my latest client. The 3D walkthrough exceeded expectations. Contract signed, deposit sent. Another milestone for my growing business. Morgan glances at the clock. Guests arrive in 3 hours. Promise you won't spend the whole time working? It's my birthday. I'll celebrate properly. I save the rendering I've been tweaking and close my laptop. The doorbell chimes at 6 sharp. Sarah from the design firm brings wine. Jack from my running group arrives with his famous lasagna. More friends filter in, real ones who know my worth without testing it. Laughter fills my space, genuine and warm. We crowd around my expandable dining table, a vintage find I restored myself. Stories flow with the wine. No one asks about my family until the intercom buzzes. My hand freezes mid-reach for the garlic bread. Were you expecting anyone else? I ask Morgan. She shakes her head, concern creasing her forehead. The letter arrives via building manager, cream-colored envelope, mother's precise handwriting. My friends fall silent, watching. They know what today marks. 1 year since I walked away. We miss you, the letter reads. Not, we were wrong, or we're sorry. Just missing the convenience of my presence, probably. My fingers trace the familiar loops of her script, remembering a lifetime of carefully crafted guilt. I tuck the envelope into my desk drawer, between design sketches and client contracts. Not rejected, not embraced, simply acknowledged and set aside. More wine. Sarah lifts the bottle, and conversations resume. Later that week, I spot Brielle at the design supply store. She's thinner, her designer clothes slightly worn at the edges. We share the same nose, the same height, but everything else feels foreign. Your hair looks nice, she offers, fingers twisting the strap of a knockoff purse. Thanks. I adjust my grip on rolls of wallpaper samples. How's the fashion world? Taking a break. Her voice lacks its old bite. Working at Dad's office, actually. Just temporary. We exchange bland pleasantries about the weather. No dramatics, no accusations. Just two adults who used to share a last name, meeting in the paint aisle. The encounter follows me home, a splinter of memory I can't quite shake. I channel it into my next video, creating boundaries that honor everyone. Boundaries aren't walls, I tell my viewers, adjusting the lighting. They're bridges to better relationships. Sometimes the hardest thing is standing still while others learn to cross them properly. Comments pour in. Your videos helped me find courage. Finally learning to say no to toxic family. Thank you for showing it's possible to love from a distance. A publisher's email arrives on a Tuesday morning. They want a book, My Philosophy of Authentic Spaces, How Environment Shapes Identity. The advance could fund a down payment on a condo. I reread Mother's letter, smooth the creases. My response flows easily. A year of healing between each line. I'm open to building something new, but the old foundation was cracked. You're welcome to meet me here, in the life I've created. But I won't return to the role you carved for me. The letter sits ready, not yet sealed, waiting for the moment when sending it will be an invitation, not an obligation. From my balcony, city lights sparkle like falling stars. My tablet glows with tomorrow's client presentation. The small table holds a cup of chamomile tea, a design magazine featuring my latest project, and the quiet satisfaction of a life assembled piece by deliberate piece. Morgan's plant stretches toward the glass, leaves unfurling in an endless reach for light. Some roots grow stronger when transplanted. Some bonds strengthen only after breaking. Remember, I tell my viewers in the closing segment, the space around you shapes the person within you. Choose wisely. The camera light blinks off. In the sudden quiet, my reflection smiles back from the window, a woman who finally understands that sometimes the family you need isn't the family you're born to. It's the one you build, room by careful room, until the space fits exactly who you've become. What would you have done in my situation? Drop a comment below, and let me know if you've ever had to choose between family loyalty and self-respect.